All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakar double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. And this is going to be a lesson on how the gym is a breeding ground for sin, right? It's a place that ultimately is a breeding ground for pride, for arrogance, for covetousness, right? For adultery, for damn sure, right? It's a place where people boast themselves on themselves because the gym is completely carnal, when really at its base level and what it's supposed to be about improving your health. But when you actually look at the things that people do in a gym and what they boast in, such as trying to have the heaviest 1 rep max, trying to have the biggest arms, trying to have the leanest physique, trying to be able to run the fastest, right? The women trying to have the fattest ass, trying to look the best, wearing outfits where you're like, rah, it's coming like this girl's up in the gym in a bikini up in here, right? And then it becomes a thing completely not about trying to be healthy anymore, right? And becomes a thing where you're just trying to be proud, right? And I'm going to play some of this video from this guy, Coach Greg Adams, right? Which he has a good understanding of some of these things, man. And he used to be a personal trainer, used to be a fitness trainer, right? He has a good understanding of these things. And he even mentions within this video, I saw some of it earlier, but like some of it, I've watched more than you can see on the screen of 3 minutes, 8 seconds. I've actually watched like about maybe 4 minutes more than this. But I went back to try and play this part of the video to go into some of the things that he says, man, and apply it to the scriptures, Lord willing, right? But he has a good understanding of some of these things and goes into how, even understood how the gym goes back to Greece and goes back to gymnos, which means naked, right? And the ancient gyms, people were in there training completely naked. And the modern gyms, because these people perceive themselves to be more civilized, right? People don't necessarily train or don't train completely naked, right? But the way our people do train in these gyms, they're pretty much giving you the idea of what they would look like naked. When these women are wearing their yoga pants, and it's not like the normal regular ones, they're having to wear the scrunch one that goes in the cheeks and wraps round the cheeks, not just covers them. No, they want the ones that go in the cheeks and round and show the shape. You're basically seeing what the woman looks like naked. When she's wearing a crop top, right? A crop top sports bra, you can see what her stomach looks like. When she's wearing the sport bra, you can see what her breasts look like. You can pretty much see everything. She's basically naked. Now, among the men, some of the men will wear them shorts, where the shorts are like riding up past past man's whole quadriceps, bro. And you're like, raw, why is this geezer wearing Daisy Dukes up in the gym? What's this geezer doing? What is he doing? Or they wear them string vests, where it's like the string vest, if he moves a little bit to the left or the right, his whole pectorals out and the geezer's nipple on show, and you're like, why is this geezer in the gym dressed like that? But he's dressed like that because he's trying to show what he looks like naked for women. And some of these people are such sickos, they're even in there doing it for men to see, right? Either for pride, to try and be like, yeah, I look better than all you people in the gym, or because they're an alphabet and a rainbow. Right now, I'm gonna play some of this, but before I do that, I want to just quote a scripture, Jeremiah chapter 9 and verse 23, which goes into how, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might, let not the rich man glory in his riches. So Yahweh says, right, that we shouldn't glory because we've got riches. We shouldn't glory that we've got might. We shouldn't glory that we've got wisdom, right? We should glory that we understand and know the Lord. We ain't supposed to boast and be prideful because of things that we think we got of our own selves, man. We're supposed to be glorying in that we understand the creator of the world. And this is the hard thing for people to understand. And it's a thing that really a guy like Coach Greg Adams doesn't even understand. This guy wouldn't believe that isn't about the scriptures. I've heard him on several occasions say that he ain't about the scriptures. Now, it's hard for Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to truly not believe in God at all. But I don't believe that this guy believes in the God of the Bible. I wouldn't say that he doesn't believe in a God existing at all because he's an Israelite. But as far as believing what the God of the Bible has got to say about things, he don't. Yet he's still right in regards to these things that he's gonna say, right? And I'm gonna press play. A horrible mistake.
I have made a horrible mistake. About 2 months ago, I found myself in an unhealthy relationship.
Wait, back out. Are you married?
Yes, I am married. That's the key.
How long?
That's the key problem. We have been married for about 5 years. 2 children, 2 and 4. So I wanted to do a fitness competition, and I found myself at the gym a lot, and there was a guy there, trainer, and...
So the woman wanted to enter into a fitness competition because she's a mom. She probably gained a bit of weight from the baby or whatever, right? And she wanted to boast in what she looks like. A fitness competition is ultimately about boasting in yourself, whether it be a high rocks, right? A CrossFit, is ultimately about boasting in yourself, or whether it was I'm guessing she didn't say it was a bodybuilding competition, she said it was a fitness. So it could have been like a Tough Mudder, a marathon, some kind of thing like that, right? Some kind of thing to show how fit you are, how strong your body is, which is ultimately pride, right? The only time I was gonna say the only time that it's not pride would be when you are making money from it, right? But even then, it's still pride. When you see some of the way how these NFL players go on, they're lunatics, man. I found out about one guy. I think he's called John Henderson. Some big overgrown Jake man's like 6'7", like maybe 350 pounds, right? He used to, before he would go out to the football game for the football American football game, he was telling his coach, slap him in the face. The coach is some like 5'8" Edomite, slap him in the face. He was like, nah, that ain't hard enough. Slap me in the mouth. He gets slapped in the mouth, blood dripping out his mouth, and now he's charged up. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Like walking through, got his helmet on, charging up all the other players. And you're like, raw, this guy's tapped. You wouldn't want to mess with this geezer. This guy's nuts, right? But the crazy way how that guy's going on, he wouldn't be going on like that if he was 5'4", weighing 120. But he'll go on like that when he's 6'7", weighing 350, because that's actually backed up by something. Now, in the eyes of Yahweh, that don't mean nothing, because that guy would look like a midget in terms of a guy like in comparison to Goliath. And King David was able to take Goliath down. So King David could take down that John Henderson guy, right? But through the power of the Lord, though. A man of the Lord can take down anybody through the power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, but without Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, it don't matter. The battle is always won by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. But when you get these worldly, like, physical traits, that allows you to think that you're something special. Like, there's a guy that used to be like an extremely strong guy, Larry Wheels, right? He would be crazy on a deadlift. He'd just walk up to the bar, do his setup, breathe in, brace at the waist and all that. Bam, 700 pounds lifted like that. 700 pounds, most people could not lift no matter how hard they train, right? But this guy would just be hitting that 900 pounds. He used to train with Forber Johnson, one of the former world's strongest men. He trained with Eddie Hall. He used to train with all the people that you could imagine that are about weightlifting and bodybuilding. He trained with all those guys, right? But then when it came to the fighting world, he thought that the weightlifting thing crossed over into the fighting world and made a proud claim that a man weighing 135 pounds could not take him down to the ground. And he found out the hard way that not only could a man weighing 135 pounds take him down to the ground, a man weighing 135 pounds, if he wanted to, could choke him unconscious, because he had to tap when put in a guillotine, right? He got put in a guillotine, a guillotine, man. Yeah, he got put in a guillotine hold. From the guy off while the other guy was on his back. He got put in a guillotine hold, which that can block off all your oxygen and cause you to pass out. And if the hold is held in longer than that, it would cause you to not be alive anymore, because you're not getting no oxygen. The involuntary action of breathing is being cut off, right? So he found out that a guy that's smaller than him by almost damn near half the weight, right? Because he's like 260 pounds, 270 pounds at the time, right? But a guy that weighed literally half that was able to take him down to the ground and do whatever he wanted to do. But then that guy would also lose to a man of the Lord if Yahweh is with him, right? Yahweh is going to literally perform miracles. when it's time through the bodies of the men that don't look like much right now, man. Right? And I'm a man that's been in my lifetime about health and fitness. But Yahweh can put you through things to make you realize that you see all this strength that you're trying to get and all this strength that you're trying to gain, like that don't mean nothing, man. Yahweh can and has put all the brothers that believe in that kind of stuff. He's put them through, or will cause to put them through, showing them that that doesn't mean nothing, man. The physical body does not mean nothing. In fact, right? What do the scriptures say? Don't the scriptures say, though our outward man perish, the inward man is renewed day by day? So in order for the inward man to be growing, the outward man really has to be lessened, to be honest with you. Even if you're still a brother that's strong, your outward man is more than likely been lessened, man. Like even a thing such as like having a receding hairline is a thing that can humble you, right? Because you might have in the past not had a receding hairline, and now you realize that you can't grow hair, right? That's a thing. Or you might have been a brother that had cornrows and you liked your cornrows, or you have hair, had a large amount of hair, but it was long to the point of being a girl's length, and you had to get rid of that. That's a thing that can humble men and make them realize, man, you got to get rid of some of your worldliness, right? You might have not wanted to have a beard, and now you got to have one. You might have wanted to have a skin fade, and now you can't have a skin fade no more, right? And if you really believe in Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, you're gonna say, bun the skin fade. To hell with the skin fade, man. Who cares about a skin fade and me having the sides aligned? The sides are parallel with each other, but the top's got hair on there. Who cares, man? Ultimately, who cares? Like a woman, if it's a thing where people are thinking that that's a thing for a woman, right? A woman is gonna still be with a guy that she likes for real, whether he's got hair or doesn't have hair, whether he used to be clean shaven all the time, but now has a beard. Because women change their opinions on things like that anyway. So don't let it be a thing over women that a man decides to sin against Yahweh. And really, we should never try and sin for anyone anyway, man. Ultimately, now I'm gonna carry on pressing play again because there's a lot to say in regards to this whole topic, right? In regards to how the gym is a breeding ground for pride, man. And this woman's, I'm gonna kind of say ahead of time what she's gonna say, but she ultimately says she wanted to join a fitness competition. She ended up getting a male personal trainer, right? And like, man, if any men out there listening to this video, come to watch this video, and their woman talks about getting a personal trainer, if she tries to talk about getting any kind of personal trainer other than a woman, she's a demon and she's plotting. And I don't care what the personal trainer looks like. The personal trainer could not even be in shape. She's plotting, man. Because ain't no man supposed to be telling your woman, reach to your toes, lean forward and lunge, squat deeper. All right, that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on now. You can do another rep. Come on now. Nah. And she's all sweating, releasing hormones, and he's there cheering her on, giving her a high five. They do a high five, and their hands are clasped together after from the high five. Nah. She's starting to get her body right, and he's the reason why. Nah. Then she might want to try and make him see what the body looks like, man. I've had a brief period of time where I was in that kind of industry, and the personal trainer clients, the female ones, sometimes they wanted to try and show you what their body looks like. They'll take a selfie in the mirror and come to you and show you, oh, look at the improvements I'm making. And they'll be showing you pictures of them damn near in their underwear, man. And you already know what the reason why they're doing that is. You'll already know the reason why. And if you're a person in the truth at that time, really, you can't even look at that. And that's why certain industries, like, you're almost like I'm not going to say you can't be in them, but you have to be spiritual to be in them. Like if you was let's say a man does sports massage, or he's a massage therapist, man, and now women are coming up to him and wanting to get massages, right? And when he's massaging them, they're all moaning and all that. Oh, this feels great. She's signing up to try and come and have a next massage and all that, right? She gradually starts wanting you to massage more and more areas. Well, it's your job. But then at the same time, that woman's trying to make you commit an adultery. And she might try to come to you and be like, yeah, all right, pull it on me. She might want you to try and pull it on her right there in that room because she'll be getting turned on from the massage that you're giving her. But then also, and that's hetero. That's not no alphabet and a rainbow activity. But as a massage therapist, what if now a male comes and wants to be a client for massage and he's a weirdo? Then what, man? Because it would be your job, right? So then what? And that's why it's almost like certain industries you can't be in. Like, you ain't gonna want to be a brother in the truth and you just bare cutting up pork, man. You ain't gonna want to do that, right? But then I ain't gonna tell no man that you can't make your money in no kind of way, because a lot of jobs that people might do that don't necessarily do that, like are almost sinful or wicked in a certain ways anyway. And that's why people is always going into how Yahweh Shah was hanging around publicans. They viewed those men that are debt collectors as evil and wicked men, right? They view them as like evil scumbags, and that would be like a modern day maybe fraud investigator or something like that, man, or a debt collector, right? Because debt collection is never going to be a thing that doesn't exist. Even in the kingdom, people are going to be we as Israelite men, we're going to be debt collectors, man, for the debts that these heathen are going to owe us, right? They're going to be paying tributes to us. We're going to be collecting them debts, man. Right, let's carry on.
Basically started helping me out with some workouts.
Let me stop right there. I'm going to stop every 30 seconds because I got to teach y'all. You can watch the full clip by yourself. You can Google it and watch the full clip. But as I said, the marriage will is undefeated. They were in love. Oh, they really weren't in love. They were in love. Then guess what happened? Children.
I ain't really trying to make this video too much about the whole male and female dynamics thing, so I'm going to skip that part of what he's saying.
Now, too late, nigga. I've been there already. So she goes to a place, a breeding ground of sexuality.
That's what I wanted to get to, man. He said that the gym is a breeding ground of sexuality, and it damn sure is, right? This guy hit the nail on the head when he said, you know what, I want to go back and see what he said before that.
The gym, which is the nightclub, which I said that in 20.
Right, yeah, I need to, you know what, I'm going to play a bit more, because he said the gym's the new nightclub, and it really is, man. The way how people treat the gym is like, man, the gym's lit. £40 maybe, like £40 for like a mid-range gym, right? That might have a pool, you can go swimming and all that, like a leisure center kind of thing. It would be like a 20, 25, like a 15 to £25 for like a pure gym, the gym group, right? That you can get some classes and all that, and you can train at any time of the day. But like the more kind of upscale gyms, that's going to be like £100, right? And then you've got the private gyms. They might be like £80 to £200, because it's like you get a gym, access to a gym and a personal trainer and like nutritional advice, right? All in one, right? And that just has might have like maybe 30 different people in there. And then even in that's even more like of a kind of cozier vibe than the other gym, because all the people are going to be doing the same thing when they go there, right? And that's a breeding ground for adultery. You'll see women I seen when I was in that environment. I saw a woman that was married. She flirting with the next geezer, right? And the husband and the wife both trained in this place, and the husband was literally there playing with his wedding ring on his finger, thinking, man, why the hell did I marry this bitch? Because he's seeing her flirting up in the face of an next geezer. She's all flirting up in the face of a next guy, begging for attention and that, right? But she's married to this guy that she's right in the gym with. Absolutely disrespectful and demonic, man. And more than likely, he was paying for the gym classes that they was doing together. I don't think it was a thing of she's paying for her membership and he's paying for his membership. More than likely, he was paying for the whole thing, because he ended up telling me later on that he had sold a company for like $250,000. So he's obviously got peas, right? He sold a company for $250,000. There ain't many people that just say that every day when you hear them say it, are they? And she's doing all of this for this other geezer that hasn't done none of that stuff. He was an Edomite. She was Indian. The other geezer that she was lusting after was Indian as well. The Edomite geezer 6'4", right? The other Indian geezer is 5'8", maybe 5'9". So all this height stuff that women say, when they get a tall guy, right? When they get a tall guy, they'll be lusting after a short guy. When they got a short guy, they'll be lusting after a tall guy, man. They get a rich guy, they'll be lusting after a broke guy. They get a broke guy, they'll be lusting after a rich guy. They get an Edomite, they were lusting after Elam. They get Elam. They were lusting after Edomite. They get rid of Ishmaelite. They're lusting after Jake, Israelite. They get rid of Israelite. They were lusting after Esau. But Esau is going downhill in this world anyway. But there'll still be women that will lust after the top of top amongst Esau, the Edomite men that might still have it together and are according to the Edomite standard of being handsome, right? But let's play what this guy said, because he said that the gym is the new nightclub, right? And that the gym is a breeding ground for sexuality. And I'm going to talk a bit about that in a minute.
In love. Oh, they really weren't in love. They were in love. Then guess what happened? Children happened. Guess what happened? She wanted to start getting back in shape. She goes back in shape. She goes to the gym, which is the nightclub, which I said that in 2018. The gyms are becoming a nightclub.
The gyms are becoming a nightclub, yeah. Because the gym, and one of the reasons why I personally think, this is just me looking at things from like a sociology kind of way, is that the gym's a lot cheaper than the nightclub. You go to the nightclub and spend £30. That might be free drinks. That might be 1, 2, 3 drinks. A vodka, a double vodka and lemonade, a double rum and lemonade, a double rum and coke or whatever, and a couple 1, 2 tequilas and some Jaeger bomb thing or something like that. Yeah. A tequila shot or something, a couple of tequila shots, right? 4 or 5 drinks maybe, if you're lucky, depending on what city you live in, what country you live in and all that, right? But if you go to the gym and spend that 30, 40 pounds for that gym membership, okay, you go to the gym, it might even be in walking distance to where you live. It might be. Or it might be on the way to where you would normally go to work. It might be on the way to where you would normally go and do your weekly shop anyway, right? It might be on the way to something that you do in the week. So the petrol and the fuel cost is not any different, right? It's not any different than what you would be spending anyway. So you go there instead of having to go to the nightclub and spend up bare money in order to have a good time, because in order to go to the club and have a good time, it's a hell of a lot more expensive. So people are starting to now go to the gym, right? Because you can get your health together, which it's supposed to be about, but you can also see women that are hot there. The women that go and train to the gym, when they actually start doing their thing, they really look better than the women that you see in the nightclub. And unless of course they are those women. But when a woman in yoga pants, and I'm talking about visually to a man's eyes some of the time, a woman in her yoga pants will some of the time look better than a woman in the nightclub attire, right? It might look better than a woman because you're actually seeing how her body moves in the gym. You'll be seeing how her body moves in the gym. In the nightclub, you might see how her body moves when she's dancing or whatever. But people nowadays don't even really that much want to even dance in the club. There's a book, as far as I've seen from things on the internet anyway, because I don't go anywhere near no club. But from what I see, I'd personally think I'm too old to go inside of a club personally, right? But that's just me. Other people might think otherwise about themselves, but I'm saying, for as far as I think about me, that the age that I am is too old to be in some club, I would think, unless you own the place or you're the DJ. And a club's a breeding ground for demons as well, and for sexuality too. But the gym might be even higher now. Potentially a little bit, or it's catching up, right? Or it's catching up, man. I forgot what I was gonna say for a second, so I'm gonna go back and play this video and see what else stirs into my mind.
Now people are still trying to say that now. Too late, nigga. I've been there already. So she goes to a place, a breeding ground.
All right, let me go back a bit so that you can hear the whole thing of what this guy says without me saying anything.
They were in love. Oh, they really weren't in love. They were in love. Then guess what happened? Children happened. Guess what happened? She wanted to start getting back in shape. She goes back in shape. She goes to the gym, which is the nightclub, which I said that in 2018. The gyms are becoming a nightclub. Now people are still trying to say that now. Too late, nigga. I've been there already. So she goes to a place, a breeding ground of sexuality. The gym is a breeding ground of sexuality. I told you about the whole Greece thing of how gymnasium basically means a place, naked place. All right.
Now, what he means there is gymnasium basically means he's going into what I said a minute ago, gymnos. When you look at what gym and gymnasium, what the word that they go back to, the etymology, is the word gymnos, which is spelled Gymnos, right? Gymnos. Some people might pronounce it gymnos, but the word's pronounced, if I'm not mistaken, gymnos, and the word means naked, right? Going back to how the ancient gyms in ancient Greece, people would be training in a completely naked. Now, how did I find out this? Through being a Hebrew Israelite that followed the doctrine of Great Millstone. That's the way how I found it out, right? But how he found it out would have been potential. I don't know. Maybe he could have found it out the same way, but he would have found it out through whatever means he found it out. But this just shows that the Hebrew Israelite thing, we are attached to all other ideas in this world, but we can apply it to the scriptures, man. There's no new thing under the sun. So just like how back in the day, people was on that gym nose being naked spirit, people are like that in the gym now. You got these women in the gym extremely proud, right? Trying to show what it do in the hopes that the gym hunk, according to whatever they think that is, gives them the attention, and they might even already have a man and be married, have a man, have children, and all kind of stuff. But they will just be doing it for an ego boost. Some of the time when these women are getting attention from the men, they don't even necessarily all the time even want the men to come over. They just want the ego boost of the attention. And then when things start getting intense because the guy's reading the signal like, okay, she wants me to come over and talk to her, then they start getting scared that, oh, things got too real. And then now they want to try and pattern it down. Oh, now I'm single. I mean, I'm married and all that, I'm taken and all this. But if they were single, they really should have trained their ass at home. Really should have slapped on a YouTube or something like that, right? And trained at home, bought some weights and trained at home. Women don't need all crazy kind of heavy weights to build up their physique anyway. They don't need that. Men need more weights than that but then men can build up a good, decent physique with just purely calisthenics anyway. If you're only talking about physical looks. Now, if you're talking about trying to build up a certain amount of strength, you will need external resistance to help you get to higher levels. But you can always also build up external resistance by the way how you move your body when performing the calisthenics exercises. Like if you do the more reps, right, or you do the reps slower, right, that can change how much your resistance your body would be able to move should you actually use external weights and go to a gym. So that you'll find that through calisthenics, when you actually was to start at an actual gym now using weights, that your natural strength levels are higher than another person's natural strength levels. But anyway, let's carry on.
Participating in something naked. You got dopamines, endorphins. People
now, I want to just say this as well. He going back to what he said about the gym being a breeding ground for sexuality. How could it not be? You got all these people, right? You got all these people thrusting at themselves. You got women thrusting at themselves, squatting, right? Their cheeks separate, their cheeks come back. I ain't even trying to make it be too deep, but this is what they'll be doing, especially the way how they dress. Like you won't really see a woman that's got a very attractive body train in a gym in a way that they're really covering themselves up. Now, I've only really came across one famous woman as far as fitness world goes. Anyway, I think her name's Liana Deeb. Her name's Liana Deeb, and in the past, she used to train, showing her body, showing what her body looked like and all that, right? And she'd do a little dance in front of the camera, right? But now, or through whatever happened, she started deleting all of her videos where she was dressed like that. She deleted every single one, right? And she became a fitness influencer, and she became a model for Gymshark, right? And it became a thing where she's now paid by Gymshark and she's got a whole different clothing line, right? Through her, they promoted a clothing line of modest gym apparel to where now you can't even see what her body looks like under all of that. Now, had there not been a financial incentive for her to do that, I kind of doubt that she would have did that personally. But because there was a financial incentive that came from her doing it, it was more easy for her to do it. Now, her doing it's righteous compared to what she was doing before. Anyway, it's a righteous thing for a woman to wear modest apparel. But would she have did that same thing without the financial incentive? Right? That matters too. But let's carry on.
Breeding ground of sexuality. I told you about the whole grease thing of how gymnasium basically means a place, naked place. All right, participating in something naked. You got dopamines, endorphins. People have dressed. People who are scantily clad. You can see in titties. You see with their testicles out, muscles. All right, people grow.
See how he even said it, man. You see men with damn near their testicles out. I'm telling you, men in the gym damn near wearing Daisy Dukes, man. Polyester, flipping Daisy Dukes, man. Jimsy Dukes up in there. You're like, why is man's shorts? Like, why is your short only coming up to the middle of your quad, man? And I remember that there was a time where Pastor Tahar said about people like, don't be wearing no shorts. He told brothers don't wear shorts or something along those line. He had a problem with shorts, man, right? Because he understood that it's a worldly thing, man, right? The shorts thing, and it is. And me, this is me personally. Like I've never really cared for wearing like shorts in the summer. Even I haven't, but it's not because I'm super righteous or nothing like that. It's just the short thing. I never really cared about that. I'd still wear a vest in the summer, but like the shorts thing now, I never really. Me personally, I never really been on that. But whatever, it's not like that. Doesn't mean I'm deep or nothing like that. I'm just saying, right? But I just found it funny how you said that you got people damn near with their testicles out, their chest hanging out. Like it is. Like in the gym, you got gal them leg out, gal them chest out, gal them batty crease hanging out, right? And the women will look good to your eyes, but you're like, raw. This woman is also a hoe. A man can't find his wife by the first time when he meets the woman. She's like that because she ain't gonna stop doing that when you get with her. She ain't gonna all of a sudden stop getting all that attention that she gets from doing that. Just because now you're with her, they ain't gonna do it. These women don't. Like it would be more righteous if these women did do that. That like, okay, they dress up in the gym for a certain way to get a man because they ain't got one and they want a man, right? And then when they get the man now, they dress in the gym humbly or don't even go to the gym no more because they got the man that they wanted to get, and now they don't even go to the gym no more. They just train at home to try and maintain the body that he likes that she's got, right? That'd be more righteous, right? But let's carry on anyway.
Thrusting, squatting, bending over, stretching, have dressed. People who are scantily clad, you can see in titties, you see with their testicles out, muscles. All right.
Hey, Shalakia, man. I just think it's hilarious that even he said it, man. That even I already watched some of this anyway, but I didn't remember that he said that the men be trying to have like it's disgusting, bro. You don't want to be training in a place. Like, I don't go to the gym no more, right? I don't go to the gym no more. Not saying that I never would again, but I don't go to the gym no more because like it's too wicked in my opinion. The place is too wicked. It's too proud, man. When you're a Jake and you train and go to the gym, and any brother that ever trained and went to the gym, tell me if I'm lying. Esau is damn near stalking your whole workout, man. Man's track and tracing, right? Track and trace your whole workout. Okay, so he did 80 kgs for 8 reps on that exercise. And then he went over to that machine and he did 20 reps of that. And they'll try and flipping find out what weight he lifted, man, on the machines. He'll be walking by trying to look at what weight he lifted on the machines, try and copy it and that. You know what I mean? And then let's say that he actually potentially could do more. He won't even know if he could do more because he's too busy trying to do exactly the same thing as what you did, thinking that he's going to look the same as you. When let me pull it out there right now. If a Jake did a workout where they only do 20 push-ups a day, 20 push-ups a day and 20 squats, and they don't do nothing else in their week other than that, and an Edomite does 20 push-ups and 20 squats in a day, guess who's going to look better? The Israelite. The Israelite would look better potentially by not doing any squats in a day, man. It's coming like Yahweh's almost gave Jake inbuilt steroids when you consider how they look differently to Esau. Jake's almost like they got inbuilt, not even needing to take any steroids, man. It's like they've got steroids built in them from the testosterone levels that he gave them, man. Whereas Esau, they be having to take steroids, take testosterone, and then try and go on like the natural. And that's why that whole, are you natty, bro? And all that, are you natty? Are you natty running around and questioning people whether they're natty? That's mainly a thing that's become because of Esau, man. Because people ain't used to seeing Esau henched off. And Jake will get accused of being on steroids, which Israelites take steroids as well, but Jake's will get accused of being on steroids, and sometimes they sincerely are not even taking any. A lot of the times they're full of shit because they're 6'5" with like 4% body fat and like some 32-inch waist, which is extremely difficult to have, like extremely, right? So a lot of them guys are chatting shit, but sometimes Jake literally, sincerely does not have, right? Does not have any does not and is not taking steroids. Right, let's carry on, man. I ain't gonna play that part again. I ain't gonna be laughing at that, but I just thought it was funny.
People groaning, thrusting, squatting, bending over, stretching.
Yeah, exactly. Like men hearing some woman groan in the gym. Yeah, what does that sound like? What other sound does that sound like? With her moaning and groaning when she's lifting some weights and all of that, right? What's that sounded like to a man's ears? We already all know. And then alternatively, what's a man groaning and moaning when he's lifting weights, grunting and all that when he's lifting weights? What's that symbolizing to the woman's ears, man? What's the woman hearing when she sees that? When a woman sees you go underneath a barbell, right? She sees you go underneath a barbell, potentially lifting 3 times, because Jake's strong, man. Jake's be strong out here, potentially lifting 2 to 3 times what she weighs. And Jake will be able to do that kind of stuff, slapping out 15 reps, rest for a minute, slap out another 15 reps, right? And then the woman's there thinking in her mind, but counting the weight plates. And she sees that you're lifting 2 to 3 times, sometimes even 4 times what she might weigh. She's now thinking sexual thoughts in her mind, right? Going back to what this guy said about the gym being a breeding ground for sexuality, she's now thinking sexual thoughts in her mind because she's picturing herself being lifted by you. And she might have a husband and all of that, but she's gonna still be thinking that kind of thoughts. And now she's lusting after you in her heart. And if the woman's attractive and she starts giving a man the eyes, he might give her the eyes back, and now he's lusting after her in his heart, and that can lead further towards adultery now, right? Whereas if the woman trained at home, that couldn't happen. And if women, when they talk all this women's gyms thing, were actually being sincere about that and actually really would want to train in a women's only gym, then it would avoid the possibility of such things happening, right? It would avoid the possibility of adultery like in such a way from happening. Let's carry on anyway, man, because this is like, I think this is a good topic because we're Jakes, man. We're into the fitness thing and all that, right? But we should be into we can be into the fitness and health thing without being into the gymnos thing, right? That being into the gymnos spirit and being into the health spirit are completely different. Being into the health spirit is about more than isn't even about 22-inch biceps, having a 6-pack. It's about, can my body do all the necessary things? Can it move in the way that I need? Stretching is far more important than physical strength of weights. It's far more important, man. Because when them joints start hurting, right? You got a continual joint pain and all that. You might have a joint pain in your hip. You might have a pain in your traps. Your neck feels tight and all that. That's from stiffness of the joints, man. Yeah, having a lower back pain is one of the worst feelings in the world, man. You start getting a lower back pain or get a lower back injury, you might be like, man, I'm right now prepared to go back up to the spirit world. A lower back pain can really mess you up, man. Really, it can truly like make you wouldn't even be able to walk. Stretching's way more important than the physical weights thing or how much reps you can do and all that. Way more important, man. Sincerely. But people when they're young in their 20s and all that, they don't know nothing about that. People in their early, late teens and all that, they don't know about that. Really, even people in their 30s won't even know anything about and think about that. It might be when they're starting to come towards their late 30s to their 40s that they'll then, or 50s even, that they start thinking, you know what, I wish I would have stretched. That's what these Jakes be saying and all these people be saying when they get to their 50s is that I wish I would have stretched when I was hey, it's lucky. I wish I would have stretched when I was younger. That's what they start saying, man. I wish I would have stretched when I was younger. Right? I wish I would have just did more stretching, because you can do all the other training that you do and be doing all the stretching things at the same time. But people disregard that because they're more on the gymno spirit than on the health spirit, right? There's all those big overgrown 22-inch bicep geezers and that. Ask them to run a mile or even ask them to do 50 push-ups sometimes. They can't do it because their body's not truly healthy. To the unlearned and unknowing, their body looks healthy because they're worried about the physical appearance. But the diet that you have to eat to be of that size is not really even natural, man. Having to overly stuff your face is not even natural, and that's why you'll get some of the time where you've got these guys like in this kind of way that a lot of them end up sometimes getting pre-diabetic, or they end up getting type 2 diabetes from those crazy diets that they have to eat and stuff their face with so much food, man. They end up with a whole bunch of health problems. Most of them, a lot of them, these guys that have took all these steroids end up having heart attacks sometimes. You got this guy, Cali Muscle, he literally passed out live on camera. Like, he passed out live on camera, man. Let's carry on.
Everything about the gym is breeding sexuality. Everything about the gym historically has, but because we try to outthink logic and nature as Americans in the Western world, we try to separate that. Oh, that's different. No, we're not there for that. That's a lie. You're there for that. Everything you're doing is to try to make yourself more desirable for your mate or feel better about yourself. It literally
100% true. And that's why I've had to keep pausing, because this guy, not being a personal trainer in the past, a fitness trainer in the past, he knows this. The gym is about trying to show what it do, right? You're showing people how strong you are. Even the people that might not necessarily want to do that kind of competition, and they're just in there privately trying to train. They might even train with a cap on to hide their face. They might train with their hood up. Like, the other people around are gonna be like, man, this person's not in the gym no spirit, because they're doing more things to corrupt themselves, and you'll stand out more, and it's almost gonna make the gym vibe more weird for you, man, because their spirit's against your spirit, right? And they're trying to force you into the whole thing of being about, like, showing off. Ultimately, show off like we're showing off. And even if you're a person that you might not want to play that game, they're still watching your weights, man. They're trying to want to be your friend. They might see you start getting strong. They're trying to want to be your friend now. When you're not there for that, you're there for health, because you might not have the weights at home, might not have the certain things at home, and you're like, if I do this way, it's easier for me. It's easier for me to use a lat pull down machine than try and think of ways to build up my lats at home with, like, whatever push-ups, different variations and all that. You might not be strong enough to do them, or whatever the reason might be, right? But for the women can quite easily get a decent body with purely just body weight stuff, but they go to the gym because of pride. Now, I ain't saying men can't get that physique as well, but to get all the big kind of physique, that women really desire, which is why people be going to the gym most of the time anyway, is more difficult for men. And that's why it's a known fact that most women don't think most men are attractive, and most people in general don't even go to the gym. Most people in this world in general are not even in shape. They're not even, right? Most people in this world are not even in shape. Amongst men, most men do not have a six pack, right? Most men in this world are not even around. If we talk about body percentages wise, most men are not even around 15% body fat. They're not even there. They're higher, right? Let's carry on.
is a breeding place for sexuality. That's why if I had a partner or a relationship, I would have her understand that, to say, no, you're not going to be out here loose running around the gym. You're either going to stand next to me, or you're going to work with the trainer I assigned to you. You're going to work with a female trainer, and you're going to come and go. You're not just going to be out here loose running around here. No, all that. No, 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 no. I got two.
And that's good advice, because really, when you actually really consider what the gym is, the gyms, if you go into the gym thinking about it being some, like, I'm finding a woman, right, and the woman going there thinking she's finding a man, it's an unfair, rigged game for the woman compared to the man, because the woman can be giving out her attention to all these men, and then now she just has the men absorbing in and coming towards her, right? But then at any moment, another man 1 inch taller, 2 inches taller, 15 pounds heavier, with the same body fat percentage, right? Exactly the same, but his face looks exactly the same weights wise, but his face looks a bit more handsome. He can show up into the gym now, and that woman's gonna throw all of her attention to that guy, and then another guy more stronger looking than him shows up. Oh, he was able to only lift 100 kilograms, but this other guy was able to do 150 kilograms for the same rep. So I like him now instead. And the woman's able to continually just have more and more men that just show up to this place and boast. And she's now trying to make all the different men compete for her attention that ain't even at the end of the day even worth it. But for you, it's not going to go that same way in the gym unless you're the complete strongest guy in there. But the whole thing of being the complete strongest guy in a gym isn't even real, because you can be stronger than majority of people in the weights. But could you kick their ass if it came down to it, though? Could you beat them in a fight if it came down to it? And I don't even want to really even make it about that, because that's carnal. But the gym is a carnal place. It's like this guy said, it's a breeding ground for sexuality, right? And it's like the new nightclub, right? But this is like all goes into loving not the world, neither the things that are in the world, because all that is in the world is the pride of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life, right? And that's what the gym is. It's a place where people just go there to boast and show their pride ultimately, man. And now I'm not saying that this to say that brothers, no Israelite man should go to the gym, because why shouldn't you? Why shouldn't you improve your health? But within that place is a lot of pride, man. Within that place is a lot of pride, and you have to be careful when you go there, because there might be people that just hate your guts now because they used to be the strongest person when it came to a certain lift in the gym, and you go there not even knowing none of that, and you end up just casually lifting exactly the weight that they used to lift for way more reps, and now they just hate your guts. Now they've got a target on you and trying to make your time in that gym difficult, man. Just watching you work, you might just catch them watching you from the corner of the room like a weirdo, right? You might catch them just monitoring your weights, standing close to you to try and see whose size is. You got this whole new dumb thing of people all talking about this mogged BS. I mogged him and all that, which means that they looked better than him or whatever. So you might try and stand all close to you, right? You might try and step in front of a machine before you're using it to try and show that he's more of a man than you. You have to be careful of all of this stuff, because that place is full of pride, man. It's full of pride. It's full of ego, right? It's full of wickedness. And I'm not saying this for no thing of like, oh, don't go gym, don't train, don't try and learn nothing, don't try and, like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it for that. I'm just saying that because we look at all the things in this world as Israelites, and we assess and analyze every single thing on this earth, man. We're the people that have been given through the Bible and our understanding of the scriptures, we've been given ultimately through that the authority and the knowledge and the wisdom to be able to dissect this whole earth, man, and realize how it should be under the ultimate way, which is under the laws of Yahweh.
Much invested in you to have you out here, some dude at the gym that came out and cold approach you and want to help you with your workout. I'm just that way. I'm just a little bit more pragmatic and logical. If she doesn't agree to that, then we can't be in a relationship. If she wants to say, but I would never, and I'm not like that, and I'm not there for that, and I'm not there, I don't care what you say. We're talking about human nature. What you say you want to do and what tends to happen. Oh, I made a mistake. Okay, yeah, whatever. Listen, that's how I do. You don't want to do that? Go find somebody else. Go find somebody else. Now, somebody might say that's controlling. How's that controlling if I leave it?
I'm not trying to make it about the whole male and female dynamics thing. So I'm going to skip forward a bit. I want to just talk about the thing that you said in regards to the gym.
Means no requirement. So you can go if you want. That's not controlling. That's all it is. I just know too much. I've seen too much. I'm not playing the game. You can play that if you want. Okay, you can play that if you want. You can roll the dice if you want. And then so we got married with children, 5 years, 7-year it with you. I'm going to go to the gym. That's similar to I'm going to go to girls' nights out. That's the same thing. I'm going to go to girls' nights out. But she's going to use the guys, or he's going to use the guys of I'm just going to do fitness competitions. Okay, nigga. All right. Let's continue.
And it went too far.
What does that mean?
He started talking to me. We met for coffee. And then
Did you sleep with him?
We actually ended up sleeping together.
Okay, so take a listen.
You know what I mean? So this wife ended up committing adultery. And you can go and 1 second, so like you can go and watch this video and hear the full thing of what he says in this video if you want to, right? There's the YouTube channel, right? And there's what the video is called, right? But this wife ended up committing adultery on her husband for her personal trainer. Now, to understand how like disrespectful this is, the woman was paying for the personal trainer, or her husband would have been paying for the personal trainer, right? So she ultimately paid the man to sleep with her. You see what I mean? She ultimately was paying for that man's time, paying him to make her look better, paying him to make her also then through looking better, paying him to make her feel better, right? She's paying to be around him, or using her husband's money to do so, right? But she ended up sleeping with him. Whereas that guy's not doing none of the things that the husband's expected to do for her. And that's one of the things that's one of the main things that's extremely disrespectful about women, man, is that they have all these crazy like dating requirements that they ask for men for, right? But when if you was to actually examine their body count, you would come to find that some men out there was able to sleep with them for a bag of tangy cheese Doritos. Another man was able to sleep with him for a 1-2 Bacardi Breezer and a Nando's, yeah, and a like appetizer, yeah. And then later on in her life, now another guy has to get her, but in her mind, he's got to buy her a house, or he's got to take her on some £500 dinner date, which a £500 dinner date is expensive for a dinner date. But if you consider a woman sleeping with a man for something that costs £500, she's valuing herself low, right? Because several men, if that's the true standard of her sleeping with a man, and it's not just about that and loads of other things, several men could find £500 out of somewhere to spend on a woman for a £500 dinner date. And then if they knew that it was guaranteed she's going to sleep with them, several men could do it. Like majority of men could find and would find the £500 to sleep with a certain type of woman if she's attractiveness to them. In this society, I'm saying, right? They would do that. But then women will have this. The point I'm making is that women will have this certain standard, but they don't follow the standard true. That wasn't their standard when there was a virgin. Their virgin their standard when there was a virgin might have been, he's got to have a ponytail, smell like cocoa butter. Do you know what I mean? He's got to have a ponytail, the Afro pom-pom ponytail, or he's got to have braids, right? He's got to have a tattoo on his neck that says something crazy. He's got to have like death before dishonor tattooed on his abs. Have a Bible verse. He's got to have a Bible verse. He's got to have a Bible verse on his shoulders or on his biceps or something like that, right? Or on he's got to have an arm sleeve. Yeah. And he's got to look nice in a string vest and some Timbs. That was her standard when she was a virgin. And he's got to be able to rap. He got to look like he's going to be the next rapper. He got to spit a few hot 16 in it. You know what I mean? Yo, my name is. He's got to have a little 16 hot flow and all that. Right? Or he got to be so-called. He got to be cute and all that. He got to be so-called cute. He got to be a pretty boy and all that. He got to be a thug. He got to be a scammer. Or whatever dumb other standard that they might have when they're younger. But really, if these moms raise their children greater, and if the dads also had some wisdom and understanding too, but more so the women, because the woman should know what it's like to be a woman because they've reached of age. They should be telling their daughters that it's deeper than that. It's not about no ponytail. But what will these women say instead? Don't settle down with the first man that you get with. So they're trying to tell the women to gain experience. But a woman having experience in dating actually destroys her. When a woman's got overly choice, it destroys her, man. And that's why the scriptures say, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. A woman that's going around the world just getting splammed all over the place. Spleeged off here, spleeged off there, splam there, right? When it comes time for her to be settling down, she's going to think it's boring. when she's just sitting her ass in the house or going to a restaurant that her husband's taken her to, and he might take her to a nice place. She already been there or somewhere nicer because she couldn't dark herself down in the house when she was younger. She couldn't settle down when she was younger, and now she's got all these different experiences by all the multitude of different men that she's been that she's been with. Any position in the bedroom that the husband puts her in, she's already been in that position before with somebody else, right? There ain't going to be nothing that he can do for her that's new, and she's got active experience now of what it's like somewhere else. And then in this world, if the woman is a so-called, so 1 second, I changed the screen. If in this world where the woman is a so-called virgin or had a low body count before she got with the guy, the way how this world is that it keeps pushing out the idea that women that are boring or that they're in slavery. So then the women over time get pressed on and start thinking, man, maybe I am, maybe that is the case. And they don't think, man, that they're doing an honorable thing. They think that they're missing out on something out there in the rest of the world, and then try and leave that situation and enter into that world of like entering into the mindset of a teenage girl in their 30s, 40s, late 20s, and they end up through because the men will still sleep with them. Like a significant, like most men, if a woman gives them some action, easy access to it, most men, if the woman is okay enough for the whatever amount of time he's going to want to do that with her, most men are going to agree to it. They ain't going to say no. Most men are going to agree if they think that the woman ain't got no diseases and nothing like that. Most men are like, all right, then come on then. Most men are going to agree to that. That does not make the woman special because of that. And that's what women have struggled and are struggling to understand, that just because men will sleep with you, it does not mean nothing else, even when it goes to the gym, which is the breeding ground for sexuality. Just because a woman will sleep with, a man will sleep with you as a woman, that does not mean nothing deep. Would he be prepared to step in front of a bigger man than him to defend your life? Would he be prepared to do that, even if it meant that he might lose? Would he be prepared to do that? What kind of man is he? Does he have any wisdom so that he could give you advice on anything? What kind of man is he? But women don't care about none of that. They just care about the carnal things, the carnality of a man, right? The things that can be seen externally they care about. Let's see what else he said in this video.
Started off as what? This is why I don't believe in male friends. It's just a guy at the gym. It's just this trainer. He's just helping me. He's not charging and blah, 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 blah. It didn't start off. It started off as a conversation. It started off with a text exchange. Then it went to a coffee date. Then it went to a going to.
So according to this situation, I think that the woman might have not even been paying the guy, which is even more disrespectful to the husband because it's not even an official thing now. It's not even an official thing. She's just going to that gym at the same time as this geezer and unofficially being trained by him. So it's not even like a thing where if she got injured, she can try and get like any kind of backup from anything and have her health helped. That's actually more disrespectful, man. But let's carry on.
Was apartment. Then it went to I got, and I didn't mean to. I didn't want it to go that way, but as you can see, it went from step by step by step, very predictable. While I was just
why is the whole thing of these women saying I didn't mean to? It's got to be one of the most wickedest things in this world, man. Because men are never given the opportunity of I didn't mean to. Right? Men are not given no I didn't mean to thing. And I want to also say this, right? It's only when this happens to a man is the only time that a man is mocked, which is really a spiritual, man. Adultery is only mocked when it's committed on a man. Now, really, when you deep the scriptures and you actually understand what adultery is, a woman cannot even have adultery committed on her, right? A woman cannot have adultery committed on her, man, right? Adultery cannot be committed on a woman. Because if a man gets with a woman that's single while he's got a woman, that's not adultery, that's him getting another woman, right? But if a man sleeps with another man's wife to sleep with another woman, that's adultery. Not because of anything to do with the wife that he's with, to do with the other man's wife. It's to do with the offense that he caused the other man. It's not to do with the offense. It's not to do with anything that he did to himself. I mean, excuse me, it's not anything to do with what he did to his wife. And this is a wicked society, right? So, and it's a society that loves sin. So people find it funny to commit sin in this world. So when a man's committed adultery on, people will tell him all kind of things and try and make it like, oh, if you wasn't doing this, maybe she wouldn't have did it. Or you should have read Kama Sutra. You wasn't putting it down right? You wasn't taking her out on enough dates. You wasn't doing this for her. You wasn't doing that for her. But when a woman's gone through such things, everyone's saying, oh, he's a dog, or he's a scumbag. He couldn't tie a knot in it. He just couldn't keep it in his trousers. He couldn't keep it in his pants. Right? They're saying all kind of things to be like the man's just an evil, a demon. But then when a woman does it, everyone's got all different kind of excuses, man. This world, this society has made slaves out of men. It's made slaves out of them, man. And the gym is a breeding ground of sexuality. It's a haven really for, it's part of the slavery, man. It's part of the slavery that men have been put in this society. Because that's been a place for a long time that men are able to just do their thing. And now you got women going to combat sports gyms and still doing all that yoga pants stuff. A woman could learn, let's say a woman wanted to learn Brazilian jiu-jitsu, right? She could go there without wearing yoga pants, because the men ain't wearing yoga pants when they go there. So why do you as a woman need to wear yoga pants? The men are in there, can be in there with baggy shorts on. So why you as a woman can't be in there with baggy shorts, and then a woman going in there and there's hardly even any men in there, and she's now rolling around in all these different positions with men? Really, the only thing missing for that to be intercourse is some insertion when a woman's doing that with a man. To really, I ain't trying to make it graphic, but really, that's gonna be if a woman's doing that with a man, that with men, that's way more close contact than what a woman should be having with strange men. Way more. To the point where you'd be like, yeah, she should learn that from a woman, right? If she was even to learn it at all, because women ain't no warriors anyway, and the self-defense and the defense of the society is ultimately supposed to come through the men. But the women are supposed to be worthy. The women are supposed to be worthy of protection, of being defended, right? The women are not just supposed to be disgruntled, running around, proud as all hell, and then get protection. I didn't even want this video to go so long, but the things that I've said in this video hopefully are edifying and make sense that the gym is a place of pride, and so you have to be careful. You have to tread carefully when you go into this place, because it's a place of pride, man. It's a place that's got spirits on it. It's a place that could it cause you to become proud, right? Because you could end up going to the gym, because you're an Israelite, you could end up going to the gym and becoming one of the strongest in there. So now it's boosting your ego and making you start thinking too much of yourself when you're not supposed to be doing that. You're starting to feel yourself a bit too much now, which can then lead to you coveting and thinking, well, if I'm this and I'm the strongest in this gym, and then start looking at other people that don't look as strong as you and looking at what they got and being like, okay, but why haven't I got that? Because I'm stronger than this geezer. So I should be having what he's got in life. It can lead to you becoming proud. But I'm going to end this video here anyway. I don't think it needed to be, I didn't really think it needed to be as long as it was. I just wanted to talk about this particular topic, man, that the gym is a breeding ground for pride, right? And most things in this world that initially start off as a good thing lead to pride anyway, man. Because this is a proud and arrogant society in general, and it's under the influence of Babylon the Great, which is in America, right? America is Babylon the Great, and it's the golden cup that's made the whole world drunken. And that's why everywhere in the world is ultimately, slowly but surely, it gained the same kind of pride as America, right? And I'm going to end the video there, all right? Shalom to the elected nation of Israel, shalom.